How many of you would like to be wealthy? How many of you would like to be rich? The Bible says, remember we read it earlier? Those that fear the Lord, wealth and riches shall be in their house. How many of you want to be wealthy? How many of you want to be rich? Beloved, true wealth and true richness comes when the Spirit of God fills you. When you are no longer an empty vessel, but a vessel filled with the Spirit of God. So now we're beginning to understand, beloved, that if I want to be filled, I must pour into others. Did you catch what I just said? If I want the oil in me, if I want to be filled with the Spirit, then I must focus on pouring that Spirit out to others. This is very significant for us to understand, beloved, because there's a parable given in Matthew 25 where there are 5 wise virgins and 5 foolish virgins. All of them have vessels, but 5 of them have no what? No oil. How many of you remember in the parable, in the story of this woman, that when as long as she had empty vessels and she was pouring out, more oil continued to flow. But the moment the vessels were filled, the moment she stopped pouring, the oil stopped what? Flowing. Please catch that point. The moment she stopped pouring, the oil stopped flowing. Could it be that the 5 foolish virgins stopped being interested in others and were only interested in self? How many of you want to be wise? Jesus says in Matthew 7, you got to catch this, Matthew 7 verse 24, Matthew chapter 7 verse 24 to 27, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and what? And what, everyone? Doeth them. So it's not just about hearing, it's about doing. It says, I will liken him unto a wise man that built his house upon a rock, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. Why was it founded upon a rock? Because not only did they hear, but they what? But they did. Okay, now, what does it say next? And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them what? Not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the what? Sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. So what is the difference between the wise and the foolish? They both hear, but one does not what? Do. So the question is why? What makes the wise do when the foolish do not? The what? The Spirit. Oh, come. See this. Notice with me, Zechariah chapter 4. We're going to read 1 through 6. Zechariah chapter 4, 1 through 6. Listen to this. And the angel talked with me, came again, and walked with me as a man that is, or waked me as a man that is wakened out of his sleep. Verse 2, and said unto me, what seest thou? And I said, I looked, and behold, a candlestick all of gold, with a bowl on the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the lamps which are upon the top thereof. Verse 3, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, the other upon the left side of it. Verse 4, so I answered and spake to the angel that talked with me, saying, what are these, my Lord? Verse 5, then the angel talked with me and answered and said, knowest not what these be? And I said, no, my Lord. Verse 6, then he answered and said unto me, this is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, not by might, nor by power, but by my what? Spirit, say the Lord. Let me rephrase what we just heard here. Zechariah sees this vision. It's a candlestick, and on 2 sides are these olive trees, and the olive trees are empty. And asked, what is this? And the angel says, listen, this light burns not by might, nor by what? Power, but by my what? Spirit. So what is it that enables the wise to do what they hear? It's not that the wise are like, I will do it, and the foolish are like, I don't want to do it. The difference is that the wise have oil in them. And the oil in them enables them to do while the foolish cannot do because they have no oil in their vessels. When the oil is in you, it is evidence that the love of God is flowing through you. Why? Because you are pouring yourself into others. You are giving of yourself.